got news for you, Brian Last. I'm going to reveal a secret right here on the Drive-Thru, right on Jim Cornette's Drive-Thru, as you so aptly described it. You have been faking this illness. I hate to use that four-letter word that begins with F, but you have been fabricating, my friend. You have fabricated this. You have fabricated this illness to get sympathy on yourself because you have ignited a firestorm of controversy in both the wrestling and pizza worlds. And I think that you have realized that people were starting to go cancel last. Cancel last is what was starting to trend, and you suddenly you took ill and you were on your deathbed. Pray for Brian.
Well, first of all, you started Pray for Brian. Second of all, I think you ignited the firestorm. Third of all, there's only one thing that would legitimately cause me to fake an illness like this, and that would be to get out of watching Monday Night Raw. And unfortunately, I will be watching it tonight, so I did not fake anything.
I thought you were going to say a good insurance scam is the only thing it would cost me to. No, well, give the people an update. We don't want you to go into gory detail, but you were feeling very, very poorly, and you were dizzy, and you had a fever, and we've tried to sandwich recording times around times when you were able to gather yourself together.
I have not felt this bad in as long as I can remember. I spent the better part of 4 days in bed, and anyone who knows me knows that it's impossible for me not to.
You're never in bed.
I'm never.
Every single one of your ex-girlfriends, the one thing they would universally agree on, we can't get him in bed.
Well, I've never spent this much time in bed, or at least not in a number of years. And you were very gracious. I got to thank you. Every time I called you up and said, Jim, I don't think I could do it. After about 4 minutes of being called every kind of motherfucker in the book.
No, I did not.
No. You were really good. You were really understanding about it. You had just been sick as well. But yeah, I knocked for a loop. Got some blood tests this morning. I don't have the results yet, but hopefully everything's on the up and up. But I still feel like shit. After we're done recording this, I'll be going back to bed for a little bit and then hopefully waking up at some point in the middle of the night.
Hopefully waking up at some point is always a goal that we have every night when we lay our heads down to sleep. But and
the pizza thing.
Wait a minute. Hold on. One more thing. You went to this high-priced medical facility. See, now here's the thing. Just any old body can go to a hospital, but you got to have Vince McMahon or Brian Last kind of money to get to a medical facility because they'll charge you out the ass. But you went to a high-priced medical facility, and the miracle drug that you were prescribed, that you were told by the medical professionals at the medical, you can't have doctors in a hospital. You have medical professionals at a medical facility. The miracle drug they gave you was water, was H2O. They didn't even give it to you. They recommended it to you. So drink plenty of water.
They recommended a lot of water. They said if it was the flu, it's too late. Which you never want to hear ever. If it's the flu, it's too late.
Too late.
We have to get you within the first 48 hours. Otherwise, you're helpless. It's not coronavirus, so I got that going for me. And if you go to a medical facility, does Vince call it a medical vehicle, or is he okay with ambulance?
You know, actually, let's see the next time they do it, probably 2 or 3 weeks from now. When they do it again, let's see if they call it an ambulance or a medical vehicle. Or possibly a medical transport vehicle. And the EMTs would be the medical transport vehicle personnel. Yeah, well, that would roll right off the tongue if you're doing wrestling announcing live.
But I got to catch up on a lot of reading. I got to watch some Me TV. I got to catch up on Curb Your Enthusiasm. So there were some positives in my.
Well, you're okay. Well, let me curb your enthusiasm now. Now that I've got you in the hot seat, over the past several days, you have literally been demonized in public, if you will. You have been demonized. You have been shamed. You have been called every name in the book. You have been threatened with cancellation because of your controversial, your inflammatory, your perspicacious comments on pizza, and the fact that even people are turning on you, Brian. The people who once were firmly in your corner have now said, what in the world is this man saying? How can he have done it? It's like a dagger through the heart that you claimed the way that you eat pizza, that you prefer pizza, the pizza should be done is the dough, the sauce, and cheese.
Oh, if that's the only problem, I'm okay with that. I thought you were going to say people were disputing me saying that the best pizza in the world is here in New York and New Jersey.
Well, no. Well, and that's it. Actually, what you've done is you've ignited a firestorm in both the pizza and the wrestling communities, and they're all coming together to say, "What the fuck are you talking about, Willis?" Not only you've seen the testimony on Twitter that many people who were born and raised in New York say, "No, Cornette's right. It's overrated."
I didn't see
There's
that.
nothing to do with the fucking water in the dough, for fuck's sake. One guy said, "Oh, yeah, well, I got a place near me. They ship the water. They get the water up there from the East River. You want your fucking pizza dough Hoffa flavored? Or possibly, you want it Hoffa flavored, or you want it Gotti flavored? From the East River, now, our crust now with like the Pizza Hut had the loaded cheese pizza edge. Now they have with hypodermic needles.
We have
beautiful
famously
East River water.
No, we have famously, some might say notoriously, fantastic water, drinking water up here. It is a fact.
It's fantastic. It's perfect water up here. You can't tell me that a city that produces that much filth and exhaust and disgust and pestilence and germs and disease and soot and excrement of a variety of living organisms can possibly have and the pipes are so old and the infrastructure, you can't tell me that water should be consumed by human beings, much less put in a dough of pizza that people are going to eat and feed to their children.
I can tell you that, yes.
You can tell me that? I told you couldn't tell me that. No, but wait a minute. More importantly than this, we have
great water filtration. It's almost like Austin Idol sold everyone up here water filtration units.
Oh, God.
We have fantastic water up here.
They're all NSA. He's a 47th level Mason and a 52nd level NSA fucking ground floor member. Anyway, what I'm saying to you is about the topping business. You're not going to get by with this because people have been appalled and shocked and bumfuzzled and gobsmacked over the lack of topping issue that you have created. I've been retweeting a lot of people. They sent me pictures of Emo's Pizza in St. Louis, sent me pictures of their favorite local pizza place. I'm so hungry. These huge sausage balls and all the different kinds of toppings Disgusting. And everything. You still maintain in the face of all of this blowback that you should only have the dough, the sauce, and cheese on a pizza.
To truly appreciate the essence of the pizza. Correct. Now, if you want to add things because the goodness of the pizza isn't good enough for you, that's fine. I know some people who want a hot dog with just mustard. I know some people who want peppers and onions and all sorts of shit on there. Who's right, who's wrong?
I'll tell you, the guy that wants just mustard, because fucking yellow mustard sucks on a hot dog.
Come on.
Yes.
See, now you're being ridiculous.
I refuse to eat yellow mustard in any shape, form, or fashion, on a burger, on a dog, anything.
I think the tide is turned, my friend.
Hold on here a second. No, fuck yellow mustard. Anybody that manufactures yellow mustard can take my fucking fist and shove it straight up their fucking sphincter. Because yellow mustard is a putrid thing that ruins the taste of everything it comes in contact with. Now, I like the creamy Dijon mustard or the brown mustard. JR's main event mustard is incredible. That's my favorite mustard. I'll eat that on a hot dog. I'll eat it on a turkey sandwich. I'll eat it all day long. But pure old yellow mustard that people put on fucking hot dogs at various sporting events and or entertainment venues sucks donkey cock.
Yellow mustard goes on hot dogs and it goes on pretzels.
No, I'll tell you what. Here's what you do. You get some of those Johnsonville sausage dogs, like the Andouille New Orleans Andouille sausage dog, or the better cheddars with built-in cheddars, and you put that on a toasted bun, and you shovel on some onions. And then you can either go with a barbecue sauce, or you could go with JR's Chipotle ketchup is very good, or you go the whole way and you mix up some cheese queso. And you ladle that thing on there, and that is a dog, my friend. At the Louisville Gardens, my Tuesday night pre-Gardens event dinner, every week, every Tuesday night for years and years as a photographer, I would, no matter what happened, when they opened the goddamn concession stand at 7 o'clock for the 8 o'clock show, I would be around there getting one of their sausage dogs. It was a ginormous 1 pound sausage dog in this big bun, and they ladled on the fucking nacho cheese. And oh my God, that was something. Well, every once in a while, I'd have 2 of them, and then that would hold me till after the matches. But you got to have some kind of cheese, queso, or barbecue sauce on your dog.
That's disgusting.
And onions. Oh, for heaven's sake!
Barbecue
and you're
sauce.
Advocating
Barbecue
yellow
sauce. I've seen people do cheese. Barbecue sauce on a hot dog?
Yeah.
No.
Well, not just a plain old. I don't eat plain old hot dog. Break a plain old hot dog in half and look at all the gimmicks in there. And it is just processed meat. If you're going to go for processed meat, go for the heavy duty, the sausage dogs, the brats, as I said, the Johnsonvilles. That's a more a hearty dog. Oh, the Nathans are too skinny and long. There's nothing to them. It's like a fucking meat toothpick. I tell you what, go down to Memphis and get some of the barbecued smoked sausage that like at Corky's or down at the Rendezvous, and hit some of that fucking sauce on there, boy, and your lips will smack your brains out. But anyway, back to the pizza. A lot of people have disowned you because of your lack of toppings on pizza and this irrational talk about dough. And I just want to say one thing. If somebody out there, if some guy who possibly even works at a mustard factory, but he makes money, and he works hard for his money, and he works his fingers to the bone for his money, and what he ends up with is bony fingers, and finally he saves up enough money to take his family, his fat wife Greta, and his fucking 2 or 3 Howl at the Moon kids, and he's going to take them out for a night of fine dining because he can finally afford it. And he goes to a pizza place, and he says, "Kind sir, I've just been paid at the mustard factory, and I've got all this money, and I want your biggest, finest pizza pie, and I want you to bring it to me. I'm going to feed my whole family. Just whatever your biggest, finest pizza pie is, I'll take it." And they would say, "Yes, sir, we'll take your money." And they come back 15 minutes later. Some wise ass sets down a goddamn baked piece of dough covered in fucking glorified ketchup with some cheese melted on it, all sitting there all alone and lonesome like a spare prick at the wedding. What do you think that man would say when he had turned over his hard-earned funds for their finest pizza pie? What do you think his reaction would be? Who do you think he might be able to call to get some kind of compensation when what he had been expecting and ordered and purchased and paid for was not brought to him? Who could he possibly turn to in his time of need, Brian?
Hold on. Call Stephen P. News. If you need to sue. An outlaw mud show or two. He'll sue the rest.